In this module, we're going to talk about video processing. But before I get into some of the content for this video, I want you to think back on Rick Lavoie's video from Fat City. Think about the cow that was so challenging for so many to see. Think about the letters B, D, P, and Q, and the explanation of them being a balloon with a stick on them and how they are flipped around. And yet children are confused by them because visual processing issues can occur. So let's talk a little bit about more detailed information. Video processing is the ability to make sense of information taken in through the eyes. This is different from the ability to see or the sharpness of our vision. So video processing has nothing to do with the need for glasses, the need for large print. It has to do with how we perceive what we see. So the ability to process that information. Processing occurs when one recognizes visual cues. Thinking back to the cow in the Rick Lavoie video, think about how that outline of the cow actually helped you see the face of the cow. Visual processing is about left-right discrimination, poor depth perception, and not being able to see the forest through the trees. When we think about that forest and the tree in the forest, think about those books that were around back in the 1980s and 90s, where there was an image hidden within an image, and these highly colorful books that we could buy. These were adult books on our ability if we could perceive the animal hidden in the picture. This is what visual processing is. Can we discern one object from another when multiple objects are in front of us? Visual perception plays a significant role in our school learning. It requires the ability to discriminate between geometric designs, pictures, letters, and words. Spatial relationships. Perceiving the position of an object in space and the spatial relationship of an object to another object. Think about the concepts we teach in social studies: maps, graphs, the graphs we teach in math and science, bar graphs, circle graphs, spatial graphs. All of these types of visual pieces of information are a struggle for those with visual perception. They can't bring meaning to it. Think about Algebra 1, Algebra 2 with the X and Y axis. In geometry, of having to solve a proof. Again, concepts that require a lot of visual processing. And of course, going back to Rick Lavoie's video on B, D, P, and Q, when we flip those letters around, no wonder some of our students use capital B, D, P, and Q in their writings in the middle of a word, because that is how they can remember the direction of those letters. Object recognition, the ability to recognize the nature of objects when viewing them. What this means is our ability to take a concept or an object such as a chair, turn it upside down and still realize and know that it's still a chair. Just because an object changes within its space does not make that object change. Whole and part perceptions. I know personally I am a whole to part learner. That whole perception to perceive an object in its entirety needs to occur first. The part perception, the tendency to focus on minute details and miss the whole picture, or for some with visual processing needs, they need both to be effective learners. So for me as a whole to part learner, I need to see the picture of the diagram. I need to see the completed artwork or a sample of it. I need to see what my state project should look like in 5th or 6th grade. I need to see what the outline of a paper is before I can dive in to creating the pieces of it. For others, that's too much information, and we have to chunk down information for them in order for them to be able to complete the whole picture. And then some students just need both the part and the whole, and they need to be able to begin to put it together in their own minds as to how to create what you're asking them to do. I hope this additional information is helpful as you move through the module.